Hey guys, it's me, Stewie Family, and you're probably wondering where I've been over the past 7 months, because the last time I made a video here on YouTube was back in May, and well, the reason why I haven't made a video in over 7 months, you know, I was just enjoying my summer, and stuff, just living life, and also, I'm in college now. I'm a freshman in college, and I was really busy with college and stuff, and I didn't have time to make a video. And but I got some great news. Got some great news on that. Uh, Final exams are now over, and so we're on Christmas break now. So I don't have to go back till January, which means you'll probably see a lot more YouTube videos from me. So that's really awesome, right? Alright, so I'm wearing my black beret golf hat, thing. And you know what that means. I'm going to be criticizing some stuff today. Yep, I'm going to be criticizing something today. For the first time ever, I'm doing a DVD review. What is this review over? The Attitude Era DVD. Oh yes, the Attitude Era DVD. Let me go ahead and talk about this real quick. This DVD was released on November 20th of this year. I would have done a review on this earlier, but like I said, I was busy with college, so that's why I couldn't do the review on this earlier. But I just got through watching this, because now I got the time, and I just got through watching the DVD set, and it is a really good DVD set. I really like this DVD set. It's really awesome. Very great 3DS DVD set. I just want you to look at this cover. Check out the cover here. Hang on a second. Look at this cover. I mean, it's so awesome. It looks exactly like hang on a sec, the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover by the Beatles. Look at that. You got everyone on there, JR, King, APA, Lita, Edge and Christian, Chris Jericho, The Rock, Steve Austin, Undertaker, Kane with the full face mask, Paul Bearer. You got Mr. Sacco down there. Hang on. Mr. Sacco down there. Shawn Michaels, the Puppies, Mr. McMahon, Goldust, and all that stuff. Hardcore Championship is right down there. Yep. And a lot of great stuff. There you see it. That's the front of it. Here's the back. There you see it. The back with Vince McMahon's Corvette with concrete being poured into it by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Very great moment from the Attitude Era. Strangely enough, that moment is not on the Attitude Era DVD. Yeah, that is not included on it. But if you pre-order WWE 13, no, not pre-order it, my bad. If you get the Stone Cold Steve Austin edition of WWE 13, that's what I meant to say. It comes with disc 4 of the Stone Cold DVD if you have the Xbox 360 like I do. And disc 4 has a lot of, his promos and best moments, and stuff. And that is included on that DVD. So that's one of the ways you can watch it, or just watch it on here, Let me read you. Actually, hang on. This is what the spine looks like. I really like this spine right here. It says The Attitude Era. Free disc set. And enter the Attitude Era free disc set. Really like that. I really like how they did the spine and the album and the almost said album cover and the the cover of the DVD. I really like that. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like on the inside. Give me a second, since it's a free disc set. Hang on. Okay. On the inside, you got some more great wrestlers included. Hang on a sec. You can see on that side right there, you got Albert, Rikishi, Perry Saturn, Cactus Jack, Fabulous Moolah. You got a bunch of stuff like that. And over here, you've got Terry, Jeff Jarrett, Deborah, Right to Censor, Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe, New Age Outlaws, Mark Henry, Mae Young, Stone Cold's Monster Truck, X-Pac, a lot of great stuff like that. And on the inside, first part, this is what it looks like. Hang on, it's going to be kind of hard to do. There you have the contents, the table of contents for each thing on each disc. There you have all free discs, 1, 2, and 3. And when I take all 3 of the disc out, because there's pictures behind them, give me a second. Take these out. They're kind of hard to get out at first, but after you've watched it a couple of times like I have, then they're much more easier. Alright, so this is what the pictures look like without the disc. As you can see right there, the first one is D-Generation X invading WCW, and there you see Triple H on the Jeep right there, or the tank. There you see Stone Cold Steve Austin hitting Mr. McMahon with the bedpan in the hospital. And also the infamous segment with The Rock and Mankind, "This Is Your Life." So that's the pictures. Believe it or not, which is also, like I said with the Corvette, Vince McMahon's Corvette getting poured, with concrete by Stone Cold Steve Austin, how that's not included on the DVD set. None of these free moments are included separately as just moments on the DVD set, but they are included in the documentary for just a short time. So that's what I kind of find strange about it, that those are not listed as separate moments that you can watch. You don't have to go through the chapters, and stuff. Let me put these DVDs back in to where they go. Alright, let's see. So that's what the whole DVD looks like. Let me read off to you what it says on the back of the DVD. Bust out your Austin 316 shirt, strike a 5-second pose, heat up a delicious slice of pie, and count down to Y2J all over again with the Attitude Era. Go back to the days of dysfunction, disorder, and defiance when radical anti-heroes ditched saying their prayers and taking their vitamins for opening up a can of whoop-ass and laying the smackdown. When the rebels ruled the airwaves and PG stood for puppies and grapefruits, which is what it should always stand for. Free Disc Slobberknocker is packed with all the action that pushed censors to new limits, shattered cable TV ratings, and crushed WWE's competition like a Spanish announcer's table. I like how they said that. Okay, this is what it features. The Austin McMahon rivalry, the invention of Hell in a Cell, TLC, Brawl for All, and more. The revamping of Superstars' entrance music. All the top WWE superstars such as Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Mick Foley, all 3 of them, The X, Undertaker, Edge and Christian, Chris Jericho, Trish Stratus, The McMahons, Kane, APA, Sable, Goldust, Val Venus, and more. All of them are in the documentary. And let me go ahead and read off to you what is on each disc. So here we go. Disc 1, you've got the documentary, which is it's okay. It's alright, It's not the best ever, but it's okay. You also got, let's see, what else? Let me hold this up here. You've also got, on the special features, Jim Ross interviews Goldust and Marlena from the November 3rd, 1997 edition of Raw. You've got Stone Cold Steve Austin throwing the Intercontinental Championship off a bridge from the December 15th, 1997 edition of Raw. You've got the Soldier of Love, which was one of Val Venus's promos, from the May 4th, 1998 edition of Raw. Mr. McMahon presents Mankind with the Hardcore Championship from the November 2nd, 1998 edition of Raw. Jim Ross interviewing Triple H, which was the start of Triple H's game character. July 25th, 1999 edition of Sunday Night Heat. You've got the Barroom Brawl between the New Age Outlaws and the APA from the January 20th, 2000 edition of SmackDown. You've got Mae Young and the APA from the January 27th, 2000 edition of SmackDown. The Jug Band from the May 21st, 2000 edition of Judgment Day. Triple H training Trish Stratus, which was the whole thing about Triple H, messing around with Trish, and Stephanie, thought that Triple H was cheating on, her and stuff. That was from the July 27th, 2000 edition of SmackDown. Edge's Totally Awesome Birthday from the October 30th, 2000 edition of Raw. The Rock's message to his Hell in a Cell opponents from the December 4th, 2000 edition of Raw. And some snippets of GTV. On the second disc, you've got a lot of great more moments and matches. You've got Mike Tyson joining DX from the March 2nd, 1998 edition of Raw. A New Beginning for DX from the March 30th, 1998 edition of Raw. Sable versus Mark Miro from the May 11th, 1998 edition of Raw. Nation of Degeneration from the July 6th, 1998 edition of Raw. And here's the matches that you got on the second disc. You've got the Brawl for All match between Bart Gunn versus Dr. Death Steve Williams from the July 27th, 1998 edition of Raw. You've got the Four Corners match for the WWE Tag Team Championships between Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kane and Mankind, and the New Age Outlaws and The Rock and Owen Hart from the August 10th, 1998 edition of Raw. You've got the Lions Den match between Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart from the August 30th, 1998 edition of SummerSlam. You've got the finals of the WWE Deadly Game Tournament between The Rock and Mankind from the Survivor Series 1998. The Rock and Undertaker versus Mankind and Stone Cold Steve Austin from the December 7th, 1998 edition of Raw. Then you got, Austin coming out in the beer truck, giving the corporation a beer bath. That was from the March 22nd, 1999 edition of Raw. You've got the WWE Championship match between Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin from the June 28th, 1999 edition of Raw. And you've got Chris Jericho's debut from August 9th, 1999 on there as well. On the third disc, mainly it's basically matches, yeah. That's basically all that it is just matches. You've got the match between D'Lo Brown and Jeff Jarrett for the European and Intercontinental Championships from SummerSlam 99. You've also got The Rock and Mankind versus Undertaker and Big Show in a Buried Alive match for the WWE Tag Team Championships from the September 9th, 1999 edition of SmackDown. Then you've got Stone Cold Steve Austin and Jim Ross versus Triple H in China from the October 11th, 1999 edition of Raw. Some of the moments on this disc: Big Boss Man's sympathy for Big Show's dad from the November 8th, 1999 edition of Raw. The wedding of Stephanie McMahon and Andrew Tess Martin from the November 29th, 1999 edition of Raw. The Godfather and D'Lo Brown versus Too Cool from January 27th, 2000 edition of SmackDown. You've got the WWE Hardcore Championship match between Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly from the March 27th, 2000 edition of Raw. The WWE European Championship match between Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero on the April 3rd, 2000 edition of Raw. The Steel Cage match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship between Rikishi and Val Venus at Fully Loaded 2000. You've got the TLC match for the World Tag Team Championships between Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudley Boys from the August 27, 2000 edition of SummerSlam. Actually, SummerSlam 2000, excuse me on that. And finally, Kurt Angle versus Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock versus The Undertaker versus Triple H versus Rikishi. The Armageddon Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship at Armageddon 2000. So that's what you get on this Attitude Era free disc set. Now, here is the pros on this this free disc set. One of the pros on this set is on previous DVD releases that WWE has made showing past matches from the 90s, the WWF logo has been blurred out, and when, the announcers or the wrestlers or the commentators say WWF, it's WW, and then it's censored. The F censored. On this DVD set right here, on this DVD set, the WWF logo, all of it is not blurred out. The WWF logo is on everything in this 3-disc set. And I mean everything. Nothing is nothing's blurred out. It's exactly how you seen it when you first watched it on television many, many years ago, on pay-per-view many years ago. It's got the WWF logo in it, which is a really awesome thing. I've been waiting for them to do that for a long time. Thank God that they actually did that. So, yes, the WWF logo is not blurred out on anything. They do say WWF. They do say World Wrestling Federation. Nothing is blurred out on it. Not a lot of stuff is censored on Triple H's promo when he's talking to Jim Ross. There is a couple of things that is censored, like the word shit is censored on the promo. But that's like the only thing. But also, there is some really great matches on this set. For example, let me see. One of my favorite matches from this set, I like the Four Corners match for a WWE Tag Team Championship between Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kane and Mankind, the New Age Outlaws, and The Rock and Owen Hart. Really like that one. That was a really great match. I also like the match, the Buried Alive match for the WWE Tag Team Championships between The Rock and Mankind and Undertaker and Big Show. I also want some of my favorite matches. My favorite matches on this 3-disc set is the TLC match for the World Tag Team Championships between Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudley Boys, and the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match from Armageddon 2000 because that's a classic, There's also a lot of great moments that is really good on this, like, for example, Stone Cold Steve Austin throwing The Rock's Intercontinental Championship off the bridge. The big barroom fight between APA and New Age Outlaws. Mae Young and the APA, which I find is, absolutely hilarious. My favorite moment from this is when Edge and Christian, whenever they had Judgment Day 2000 at Freedom Hall in Louisville, and I'm from Kentucky, and whenever they did it in Louisville and Edge and Christian came out dressed up as hillbillies and did the 5-second pose, thought that was funny, because a lot of people think that Kentuckians are hillbillies. There's a few of them that's like that, but not everybody is like that. And I found that, very hilarious. Very great stuff right there. Triple H training Trish Stratus, Edge's birthday, and, The Rock's message to his Hell in a Cell opponents. Thought that was pretty funny, too. The snippets of GTV are also really funny, which later turned into FU in 2002 and 2003. Some of my other favorite moments, well, Chris Jericho's debut, no doubt, because he's my favorite wrestler. I really liked the wedding between Stephanie McMahon and Test when Triple H, came out and stuff. The Godfather and D'Lo Brown facing Too Cool. That was a really hilarious segment where Mae Young says that she's pregnant. I really liked the Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly match. Just some really great stuff. The bad things about this set, the cons about this 3-disc set. The documentary is too short. The documentary is way too short. The documentary is it lasts less than an hour. No joke. The documentary lasts less than an hour, which you can't fit everything from the Attitude Era that made it awesome into 1 hour. They should have talked about it more. I was really, really disappointed that it lasted less than an hour. That was very disappointing. What was also really disappointing was that in the documentary, the documentary basically, if you really want to know, is just wrestlers looking back at some of the stuff that they did, reminiscing about some of the moments and matches that they did, and some wrestlers bashing it. What it felt like to me, anyways. Some wrestlers was bashing it and stuff. Mark Henry saying that he would not let any of his kids see what he did in the Attitude Era and stuff, and all that. And that's really disappointing. That was basically the whole documentary. I thought it was going to be about how it was in WWE 13, how they made it really detailed and stuff, talking about WCW and WWF. I thought it was going to be something like that, but basically it was just wrestlers, reminiscing about what moments that they did and stuff, which was pretty cool, But I mean, it's still kind of disappointing, that had to happen. And then there is another thing with this, and another thing that's really disappointing about the documentary is that, they didn't really talk about the hardcore division and the tag team division a lot. The documentary mainly talks about The Rock, Stone Cold, Kane and Undertaker, Mick Foley, and D-Generation X. Everybody that you can play as in the Attitude Era mode on WWE 13, they are basically talked about the most in the documentary. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. They deserve to be talked about the most in that documentary because they were the 5 people that made the Attitude Era, And yes, they deserve to be talked about the most. But there was some other things that made it exciting. Like my favorite thing from the Attitude Era was the hardcore division, the hardcore championship and all that out of control matches and stuff. I really liked that. I really liked the hardcore division. And I wish they could have talked about that a little bit more. They only talked about it for like less than a minute, which was really disappointing. They didn't talk about the tag team division a lot too, the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, the Power Trip, the Radicals, the Dudley Boys. They didn't talk about any of them a lot. They talked about the tag team division in like a minute, which was also really disappointing. They should have talked about the hardcore and tag team divisions more because that was another thing that made the company. And yeah, that was very disappointing that they didn't do that. But I mean, it was still a pretty good thing, It taught me some stuff I never did know before. Like, for example, the USA Network actually thought about taking Monday Night Raw off the air because of its sexual content, But, sponsors was withdrawing from WWE and stuff because of the sexual content, and I never knew that. I never knew that at all. But yeah, I thought that was pretty shocking. There's some matches on here that should have never even been on here in some moments. Like, for example, Val Venus's promo shouldn't have been on there. Even though I like Val Venus, that shouldn't have been on there. Let's see, what else? The Brawl for All match, that shouldn't have been on there. Brawl for All was completely horrible. It was so stupid. In my opinion, I hated Brawl for All. The Lions Den match between Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart, I really didn't like that. I love Owen Hart. I love watching him. I think they should have put another match on with Owen Hart in it besides the Lions Den match, What else? D'Lo Brown and Jeff Jarrett, I didn't really get into it, Didn't really like that one a lot. What else? Stone Cold Steve Austin and Jim Ross versus Triple H in China. It's half and half, I really liked when Steve Austin and Triple H was fighting out in the crowd and stuff, They should have replaced Big Boss Man, coming out and talking about Big Show's dad. They should have replaced that with him going to the funeral and taking his casket and dragging it, They should have showed that instead. And I believe that is the only bad things about the set. Yeah. Another great match on here is Rikishi and Val Venus for the Intercontinental title in a steel cage match at Fully Loaded 2000. That's another great match on here. But yeah, those are the main cons. The documentary didn't really last that long. Should have talked about the hardcore and tag team divisions more. Some matches shouldn't have been on there, because it really didn't get me. The major stuff was missing from it, like the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Mankind from King of the Ring. One of the most famous moments from the Attitude Era is not on this free set, which from what I've heard, they're making a second Attitude Era DVD set, which I think that they will probably put that on there. They're going to put some major stuff on there. And also the I Quit match between The Rock and Mankind from Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship. I think they'll put that on the second one. But it's still a really great DVD set. It's still a really great DVD set. I've had my head down the whole time looking at it because it's just such an awesome cover. This is still a great DVD set. There's only a couple of flaws in it. I would give this free disc set on a scale of A+ to F-. I would give it... I give it a... anywhere from a B+ to an A-. Anywhere from a B+ to an A- is what I would give it. Because the WWF logo is not blurred out. They do not censor WWF or anything like that. There's a lot of great matches on it and stuff. So I would give it a B+ or an A-. That's what I would give it. So that's my grade on it. Go pick it up at your local Walmart or Kmart or, Circuit City. Oh wait, no, Circuit City went out of business. Just Best Buy. If you buy it at if you buy it at Best Buy on Blu-ray, you actually get more bonus features and stuff. So if you're really into Blu-ray and stuff, and you like Best Buy, go buy it at Best Buy, But I honestly like DVDs better. But yeah, I give the Attitude Era free disc set a B+ to an A-. This is Stewie Family saying thanks, goodbye, and I will see you again.